Hello and welcome to another Star Citizen podcast. It's the 27th of November. It's the end of the IAE. There's lots of stuff that's been happening. And I'm here with the lovely Zinnia. Say hello, Zin.
Hello, Zin.
So, I want to talk about a few things today. Let's start with the new StarEngine Demo. There was the StarEngine Demo that was shown off at citizencon. It was sort of like one of the headline bits of the whole event, where Cloud Imperium basically went, look at what we can do with the current dev branch of the Star Citizen engine, the StarEngine, and what happens if we put a camera through it and give you a vertical slice of gameplay and things to see through that. So they showed off basically all their tech, from the sort of 64-bit expansive nature of everything, to clouds, to animals, space cows and star whales, all that sort of jazz. And then a load of new tech that's coming in. It's available in the dev branch and will be coming to the main game hopefully pretty soon. It was pretty impressive, wasn't it, the citizencon one?
Yeah, it was pretty impressive.
It's pretty a big wow moment. Lots of cool stuff there. It made Star Citizen, I think, a lot more mainstream, with a ton of creators and people that think Star Citizen's a scam, whatever, going, oh wow, why didn't people tell me it got this good, sort of thing. Admittedly, not all of that stuff is in-game yet. Do you think that, like Cloud Imperium say, it's going to be in our hands within the next 12 months still, all that stuff?
I mean, I do hope so.
Yeah, that's all we can do. We can hope, and we can assume that Cloud Imperium, and hope that Cloud Imperium are better at timescales and sort of planning now. Hopefully when they say something's going to be in, because they don't like to do that, they actually mean it. So within 12 months, I do genuinely think that that's going to be in game. However, with all the rest of the citizencon stuff, they put out their own separate videos of it like a week afterwards. They sort of started putting them out in like 4K or whatever, but they didn't put the StarEngine demo out. That was because that Cloud Imperium were re-recording it to give it a bit of polish and to show off some other bits in a bit better light. Zin and I have seen both, and is there much of a difference with this new StarEngine demo? Not
really. It seems like just small tweaks, stuff that upon like a second or third watching you sort of pick up on and go, oh no, I'm not quite happy with that. Let me just redo that.
Yeah, so a lot of it appears to have been sort of polish and like a slightly better camera going through stuff. There's lots of minor things that you go, okay, yeah, that's better. Okay, that's better. So totally agree. It's a cool thing to put out. It's in 4K as well, which is better. There were a couple of things that were just genuinely better, in my opinion. The take of Maelstrom. Maelstrom is the ship, vehicle, and building destruction system that Cloud Imperium's going to have. I don't believe it's fully destructible terrain. A lot of people are like, oh, you can blow up mountains and all this sort of stuff. Don't think it's that. I think it is just structures and ships and vehicles and stuff. But in the original, it didn't look amazing. And when they re-recorded it, sort of like a better shot of it, these two Gladius ramming each other and them shooting at a building, it looks a lot better. It had like a lot of the scrap and sort of gubbins of the ship floating on the water afterwards and stuff. And it just looked a lot better. It was a better shot. Although we did lose Pico. Pico
was he's bobbing in the water.
I suppose Penkins can swim, so he's fine.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, he's in his element. There was that. They removed a piece of tech entirely, which was the blood tech. Now,
well,
do you think that was
technically the blood tech is similar to the sweat and tears.
They bundled it all together as blood, sweat and tears.
Yeah, but it's technically the same tech, it's just a different colour.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. And it comes out of your nose or whatever, an appropriate area. So the previous one basically looked like the guy was having a stroke. It was the problem. It didn't look amazing because it still needs a bit of tweaking, although it's cool to see sort of blood dripping or whatever. But yeah, it didn't look as good as the other stuff, and it looked a bit odd the way they had decided to include it, which looked like the guy was just having a stroke in front of you. And I was like, oh, wow, dark. Yeah, it was a very pretty demo, updated, worth watching. It's probably worth watching both of them. You can see the original on my channel if you wanted to. And they've got the new one up on the Star Citizen YouTube. Very cool, and I'm hoping that they get all of that in-game within the next, as they said, 12 months. It'll be awesome. Zin.
Yeah.
Have you seen the RSI Arrastra?
I have, kind of, yeah.
It's a big mining ship. It's like a mining corvette. Big deep space miner. A lot of people really happy to see this ship in-game, or I say in-game, it's in concept. Hopefully it'll be in game not in the not too distant future. I think sort of within the next year to 18 months, in my opinion. What do you think the price of a Corvette-styled deep space miner should be? So basically it's the biggest miner you can have that's not the Orion, but the Arrastra will still be able to land on planets. It's got a little bay for vehicles to be able to drive in and out of, so you can have like rocks and rock DSs there. It's got a load of 3 big size 3 mining turrets. It's got a load of defensive weapons. I got confused by the specs actually of the Arrastra, because it says there's loads of other turrets going on, and there's 3 remote turrets as well, which have 4 size 3 guns on each, so it's got a reasonable amount of defenses. Though the people that are doing the mining with the mining lasers are also going to be then going, oh, I need to defend the ship, and remoting to one of the turrets. But I suppose you wouldn't want to be mining and shooting enemies simultaneously unless something's particularly valuable, right?
Yeah. You would stop the mining and concentrate on the shooting.
Yeah. It's got a refinery on board. It's got space for the crew to live. It can stay out effectively indefinitely in the verse as long as you can, get food and water. So what do you think that sort of price that should be?
I don't know. I think you asked me this the other day and I was like, what sort of ships is it a similar size to? And
You
were
say
like,
that, yeah.
Hammerhead and stuff like that. I'm like, well, how much are they? Probably around that sort of price.
Okay. So I think it's on the high end of the prices. It's $575.
Okay.
Which I think's quite expensive. It is effectively, though, a small capital mining ship. And it's going to be more expensive before it's released, right? Because when it gets actually flyable, it will go up.
Yeah.
Go up in price. So it could be like between $650 and $750 eventually. This sort of ship, far too expensive, in my mind, to purchase. Get it in-game once it's available. But I do like the addition of it being in-game, because the people that want the Orion is going to have some issues with it just being so big. It's a strip miner, and the Arrastra can do sort of all levels of mining. It can get involved with all of it. It can go to fly around planets, and it can be a great core of a mining operation because it's got that refinery. It's going to be more suitable to a lot of people, the Arrastra, than the Orion is.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on that, Sin?
No, but I had a thought about the Orion.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because it's so big. I mean, obviously it might be able to dock at stations.
Hopefully, otherwise it's going to be hell to get stuff off it, but yes.
Well, that's the thing, is I'm wondering if it in itself will act like a mini station, and you would, to get stuff off it, you would have someone fly to it, transfer the cargo, and same with refueling. You'd have like a starfarer come along and refuel it, basically.
That's an interesting one. Like, some of these big ships, are they only going to be able to dock with special facilities and, act as space stations themselves? Are you going to need smaller ships to come and deal with them, like the Raft, like a Hull C comes along and then you grab all the cargo off it and put it off? Maybe. That's an interesting question for some of those larger ships, for sure. Can you make a ship so big that the space station docks with it? Interesting. Okay, no, thanks for that, Sin. That's giving me ideas for videos. Oh my god.
You're welcome.
End of the IAE. So, it's been a long time getting from there to there to here. I can't remember how that song goes. But Best in Show is currently going on at time of recording, which is basically the ships that won the ship showdown and the purpley, bluey, iridescent skins and paints, which you'll get for free if you've got them in your hangar, I believe, on the 30th. I think it's the 30th, not the 27th, but we'll soon find out. And today is moving into the finale. I'm not sure what's going to be shown in the expo hall on the finale. Maybe it will just be the Best in Show ships. Maybe it will be a mixture of other manufacturers. Maybe they've got something Best in Show that they had. It will change. There'll be something that Cloud Imperium have got a plan for. I do know that if you go downstairs into the holosuite area, instead of a holosuite, there are terminals that you can rent any ship that was previously rentable throughout the IAE. There's also going to be like armor and weapons and stuff on display. Any idea what they might show in the expo hall during the finale? Will it just be the Best in Show ships, or will it be
probably just the Best in Show? I don't know. Like, I assume at the moment they're showing whatever the 25th was and the Best in Show.
Yes, that's correct. So in the other hall, yes. So I suppose maybe they'll bring in something for the finale and get rid of the other manufacturer. I don't know. Maybe
they'll just get rid of the other manufacturer.
Yeah, maybe. We'll soon see. I'm looking forward to it. There's been some cool stuff with lots of little mini scenes around this time. Like, you've got the Citizens for Pyro, you've got Xenothreat smashing stuff up and leaving messages around as you sort of come into the station. There was those cool little sort of career areas with mining and cargo. So there's a little bit more to see this time around, and I really like it. It does feel like an expo. Getting sort of involved with that's pretty good fun. Anything you're hoping to see like turn up in the last few days? Like, I don't know, cool, cheap war bond sales or anything? Because we know that there's going to be war bond upgrades.
No, I'm easy.
Are you happy with your ships that you've got, Zin, or do you want something?
I don't think I want anything right now.
Okay.
Like, I'm happy with what I've got, but mostly because the gameplay is not finalised and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, when they expand out some more gameplay, there might be more reasons to have more ships or different ones. Yeah, okay. No, I'm totally with you on that. So yeah, get involved with the IAE. Finishes properly on the 30th, and you can go rent any of those ships. And on the RSI website, you will be able to buy a load of different things. I'm not sure if every day there's going to be different war bond upgrades, or if they're just going to plonk a load of different ones on today that you'll be able to use for the next few days. But check out the website if you want to purchase something. There is clever ways that you can use war bond upgrades and store credit to basically pay very little to get a much better ship. Sort of CCU game, as people call it. Which is worth having a look at, worth having a browse going, oh, I can get this $25 cheaper, which means I can buy it basically for $5. Things like that. Some other stuff, obviously 3.21.1 is in full swing. That's the patch we're using. Cloud Imperium still updating it and stuff. But I don't think we're going to see much more in the way of updates until Alpha 3.22, which is the end of year patch. Are you looking forward to any of the sort of updates in 3.22? Sort of like, I think we're getting the Santok Yai as the ship of choice. We're going to be getting those new settlements. So all those settlements will over Stanton.
Yeah.
Structural salvage. I
think the structural salvage, for sure. I like the idea of completely munching a ship.
I think my favourite potential hopeful feature of... I know yours is probably... One of yours is the hair update. Long hair. And hopefully NPCs will also get those updates. And I think that will be a big difference, because you'll go, oh, NPCs look a lot different, and it sort of helps flesh out the variety there. But there's also multi-crew and arena commander.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting about that.
I know, because it was supposed to be in earlier, and then they sort of pushed it back, and they sort of relatively stealthily put it in 3.22. So really looking forward to that, being able to play Vandal Swarm, Pirate Swarm, and just PvP in capital ships against each other, or no, not capital ships, well, I suppose corvettes. Hammerhead, kind of Corvette-sized, sort of small Corvette. But yeah, those large ships, being able to crew them with your friends and then taking on a challenge. Oh, exciting. It's going to be good fun. Got the X1 hoverbikes and stuff like that also planned to turn up, and a load of new missions and a load of new updates to Arena Commander as well. But I suspect they're going to be adding some additional new stuff to 3.22. But think of it as a quality of life patch. Some stuff that they didn't get in that they should have got in, and quality of life. Do you think that's probably what they're going to be doing? A quality of life patch for the end of the year? Because you don't want to chuck a big patch in and then Cloud Imperium to all go on holiday and them not to be able to fix like major gameplay.
Yeah, I think so. Like everything that's on the roadmap at the moment seems like just additions essentially to what's already there.
Do you think we'll see Siege of Orison or Xenothreat being run before 3.22 goes live, or just after it goes live, or is it too hard to tell?
I don't know. I think they should run it more often, personally.
I agree, but a lot of people were complaining because it was sort of breaking the servers more. It's like, especially with the desync and the invisible players and stuff like that, and a load of lag. 3.21.1 does look like it's in a pretty good place for it, though. So I want them to be running it more, but I also want them to be running it more stably and a better performance. So there is a balancing act there. We may. So this is not really a leak or anything. This is from Star Citizen Live. They're sort of looking to try and get some of that engineering gameplay and that sort of resource management of fire gameplay in potentially for Q2 2024.
Okay.
Which is cool. That's a major core part of Star Citizen, that multi-crew engineering gameplay, sort of repairing systems, putting out fires. Really looking forward to that. I'm not sure if that's just going to be as an experimental mode at that time. Maybe we'll get some experimental tests before that, but it's cool to see that sort of stuff. And I suppose the other thing that I'm really looking forward to before the end of the year, or sort of as part of it, is, well, I mean, there's Luminalia. There's going to be some cool stuff with that. There's an advent calendar, get some free stuff. That's Star Citizen Christmas. That should be starting pretty soon. But there's also Cloud Imperium going to be running playtests of the Pyro Playground with updates, and the replication layer and potentially server meshing and that sort of stuff. More tests for that type of experimental tech, as it were, or early builds for that sort of stuff. So that a lot of this will be more public facing. They'll go to a wider audience. The Pyro one, it was moderately closed. Pyro wasn't NDA'd or anything, and hopefully the same will be true of the other network sort of tech tests with the replication layer and server meshing potentially. What do you think, Sin? Are you thinking that Cloud Imperium are actually going to be able to get a load of these tests out for Pyro on the preview branch and the replication layer, or do you think it's going to be a push before the end of the year?
I mean, they are running out of time, really, because it's now 4 weeks till Christmas.
It is 4 weeks to Christmas. And how long is that until Cloud Imperium go on holiday? Is it 3 weeks?
Well, when do they break up?
Yeah, indeed. Sometimes it's mid-December, sometimes it is later. But let's assume 3 weeks. Let's assume it's 3 weeks away. It might even be sooner than that. Yeah, I'd say 3 weeks until they break up. Yeah.
I mean, they'll certainly be winding down, won't they?
Yeah. People will be taking holiday that they need to take as well, stuff like that. And they're certainly not going to want to release, with 3.22, they're not going to want to release this major, huge patch. It is almost certainly going to be more orientated towards quality of life. I wonder if anything will get pushed off it. Hopefully not. Morty Crew for Arena Commander, please. That'd be a great Christmas present. Force Sin to play loads of that during the day. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to talk about. I'm interested to know other people's questions or theories on what might get added to 3.22, what they're excited for. Did you grab anything at the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo? Are you looking forward to Fleet Week? Were you expecting more ships and stuff to get sold that didn't? The RSI Arrastra, the Argo SRV, the Sulen, the Storm, and the Storm AA, all those new sort of things. Did you purchase any of them? Are you excited by any of them? Or you're just like, more stuff that's cool, but we need more gameplay before they're useful. Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Say goodbye, Zin.
Goodbye, Zin.
Thanks for watching, guys. You take care and have a fantastic rest of your November. What is best in life? To crush your enemies, to see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentations of their women? No, of course not. It's NordVPN. I never saw Conan the Barbarian checking his bank balance and then watching some cool shows on Netflix, all while protecting his privacy and being super secure. To be honest, I can't even remember Conan wearing a shirt. Silly Conan. And now, a big old snake god's got your internet history. Good job. Don't be a Conan the Barbarian. Check out NordVPN. Links below for powerful discounts too. Do you like using your eye holes for extra immersion in Star Citizen and help aim and do some cool stuff? Well, you can with Tobii Eye Tracker 5, which is on sale at the moment. This gives you native high-precision head and eye tracking in Star Citizen. Very cool for general immersion, for combat both in ship or on foot. They are absolutely fantastic pieces of kit, and both Zin and I have one. Use the links below to grab one or to find out more. Every month we've been giving away a ship for Star Citizen, but for November, to celebrate the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo 2953, we are giving away a load of different ships, each to a different person. The Avenger Titan, the Drake Cutter, the C-8X Pisces, the Mustang Alpha, and the Nomad. All great starter ships, but also useful for any fleet. They all come with a game package and lifetime insurance. That's all you need to start playing Star Citizen. That's 5 prizes and 5 chances to win. Just comment on any of my videos made during November to be in for a chance of winning. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone that goes the extra mile in supporting the channel via Patreon or the join button under my videos and then becoming a channel member. Please consider joining those fabulous people as well. It allows us to make daily content for Star Citizen and Squadron 42, delving into all the news, drama, development info, and gameplay that these games have to offer. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the verse.